Good evening everyone. Am I audible? Yes, I think there is a WhatsApp group. If you contact the admin, I think they will guide you. Yeah. Thank you for your response, Venkateshwaran. Good evening. Let's wait for a few minutes for the remaining members. So today's topic is, before getting into the topic, I will provide you the Google form link for third assignment. Okay, so I will share you the link in chat box. Go and submit your third assignment link over there. So here is our third assignment Google form link. If you already post your assignment in LinkedIn or Facebook group, in a sense, just copy that link and paste it here. SK Tech. Yeah, I will do it. Okay, let's start the class. So today's topic is ESP8266 NodeMCU, send emails using an SMTP server. So in this session, we will learn how to send emails with the ESP8266 NodeMCU board using an SMTP server. So I will show you how to send an email with raw text and HTML text and all. So we will program the ESP8266 NodeMCU board with the Arduino code. So let me give an introduction about what is SMTP servers. So SMTP means Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and it is an internet standard for email transmission. To send emails using ESP8266, you need to connect it to one SMTP server. So to use this, you have to install a library called ESP Mail Client Library. So to send emails with the ESP8266 NodeMCU board, we will use the ESP Mail Client Library. So this library allows the ESP8266 to send and receive emails with or without attachments using SMTP or IMAP servers. So before proceeding with this, you need to install the ESP Mail Client Library. So this library is not available to install through your Arduino IDE library manager. So you need to download it from Google. After downloaded the library, you go to Arduino IDE, Sketch, and I think you already know how to unzip your library and get into the Arduino IDE, right? So you can find that library in Google itself. Just type ESP mail client library in Google, then you will get library. So after downloading it, just go to file, examples, and you will see the particular topic like ESP mail client. Then you will get to know that you correctly downloaded the library. So you will find several examples that you can try it on your own. Then coming to, for sending emails, first I recommend to creating a new email account to send the emails to your main personal email address. Actually, you need two email address, right? So the receiving email address, it can be your personal mail address or something, but for sending email address, you need to create a new one. Don't use your main personal email to send emails using ESP8266. Why I am telling this means, if something goes wrong in your code or if you make too many requests by mistake, you can be banned or you have your account temporarily disabled. There is a chances for that. So that's why I am telling you, just create a new account. So we will use a newly created Gmail account to send the emails, but you can use any other email provider. The receiver email can be your personal email without any problem also. So now we have to create a new Gmail account and as well as app password. Before that, 1 minute. So I will also provide you the ESP mail client library and this link I will provide you. Okay. So just create a new Gmail account first using a mobile number and everything. Just create a new Gmail account first. Then you need to create app password. So you need to create an app password so that the ESP8266 is able to send email using your Gmail account. An app password is nothing but it is a 16-digit passcode that gives a less secure app or device permission to access your Google account. Only by using that only you can send emails to your particular email. So an app password can only be used with accounts that have two-step verification turned on. So note that before setting an app password, you need to turn on your two-step verification. So step number 1 is create a new Gmail account. Step number 2 is you have to create app password. So I will provide you the link first. So this is the link which is for ESP mail client library downloaded link. Here I will paste it here, and this link will guide you through. So using this link you can find the step-by-step instruction how to set the app password. So just follow that second link, you will get to know how to create app password. So I have provided two links, one is for library downloadable and another one is for app password setting. So it has systematic instruction. Using this you can create an app password by your own. So this is how it actually looks like. I am again telling this, note that before setting an app password you need to turn on your two-step verification. just turn on your two-step verification, and after turning on your two-step verification, your page will look like this. Go to app password. If you scroll down the page, at last you will get a tab like app password. So then inside it will ask for select app field and select device field. So in the select app field, choose mail option, and for the device, select other and give it a name. Like for example, here we are using ESP8266, right? So if you are using ESP32 in the sense, you can give ESP32 or ESP8266, which microcontroller you are using. So after, then click generate, then it will look like this. Your name, when you are created, when it is used, it is look like this line. So then after clicking generate, then one window will pop up like this with the password. Here it will show your 16-digit password that you will use with the ESP32 or ESP8266 to send emails. So they save this password, even though it says you will not need to remember it, just save this or note it down. So because you will need it later. So now you should have an app password that you will use on the ESP8266 code to send emails. So before writing the code, just follow these steps and create a new Gmail account, and as well as create app password also, and at last click done. So then here we are using SMTP server. Like so in your code you have to give the details of SMTP. So here I provided some details about SMTP server, which is smtp.gmail.com, and if asking for username, in the sense you have to give a complete newly created username and your password. So in the program we also add port. So if it TLS in the sense, it's 587, SSL in the sense 465, and both required in the sense you should give S. So you will need these details when you write the code. So save this for future use. So now let's jump into the coding part. So now we are going to send an email with HTML and raw text with ESP8266. Is it clear, everyone? Up to this, is it clear, everyone? So just try to create an app password. If you find any difficulties in the sense, you can ask me in tomorrow's class. I will help you. So this is the code. Actually this code is adapted from an example which is provided by the library. I will explain this code line by line for your understanding. I get this from the library example folder. So as usual, first let's start with libraries. So first line, include Arduino.h. So this line includes the Arduino core library. It provides the basic functionality and definitions needed for Arduino projects. So then this line, it defines 32, Wi-Fi, 8266, Wi-Fi. So these lines include the appropriate Wi-Fi library based on the board being used. So if the board is you are using 32 in the sense, it includes Wi-Fi.h library. And if it is 8266 in the sense, it includes the ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h library. So these libraries provide functions and classes to connect to and interact with Wi-Fi networks. So and then this library we are using for this. This line includes the ESP mail client library, which is a library specifically designed for sending emails using 32 or 8266 board. So then what we have to do is that we have to need initialize network credentials, right? So here I gave my SSID, Wi-Fi SSID and password. So this line defines the Wi-Fi network credentials. The Wi-Fi SSID constant represents the SSID, which is the name of the Wi-Fi network to connect to, and the Wi-Fi password constant represents the password for that network. And coming to these two lines, which is define, #define, SMTP host and SMTP port. So I have already told you in this one, right? Server, username, password, port. So here host name is smtp.gmail.com and port is I gave 465. So this line defines the SMTP server host and its port. So the SMTP host constant represents the host name or IP address of the SMTP server. So in this case, the Gmail SMTP server, okay. And the SMTP port constant represents the port number which is to connect to. So I have already shared you the details of SMTP. So then sign in credentials. Here define author email and author password. Here the password is nothing but this is not your email password. This is your 16-digit password. We have found here, right? So this password. I am talking about this 16-digit password. You have to give that password in author password. So this is your sending email. So these line define the email account credentials for the sender. So the author email constant represent the email address of the sender which is your newly created, and the author password constant represents the password for that email account which is for that 16-digit password. So now you have to give a receiving mail ID. Here you can use your personal mail ID, or if you have some other mail ID in the sense, you can use it here. So this line defines the email address of the recipient, and this SMTP session SMTP. So this line declares an instance of the SMTP session class which is provided by the ESP mail client library. It will be used to establish a connection with the SMTP server and send the email. And then this is the function that I have created in the last. So this line declares the SMTP callback function prototype. So it is a user defined function that will be called by the library to provide status updates during the email sending process. So we'll see this about the last lines. And then coming to void setup, we have started with baud rate 115200. So inside setup function initializing the serial communication at the baud rate of 115200 bits per second. So this allows the board to communicate with the computer through the serial port. And then this line, it sends the new line character to the serial port, moving the cursor to the next line. And this serial print connecting to AP. So it displays the string connecting to AP on the serial monitor, and this line attempts to connect to the Wi-Fi network using that SSID and password that we have provided already in the code, right? So this function initiates the connection process. And then while loop, which is for Wi-Fi checking. So this while loop keeps running as long as the Wi-Fi connection is not established. It continuously prints a dot to indicate that it is attempting to connect to the network. So the delay, which is 200, pauses the execution for 200 milliseconds between each iteration. So once the Wi-Fi is established, this code of block is executed. It prints an empty line first, followed by the Wi-Fi connected message, and then display the IP address assigned to the board, and finally it prints an empty line for formatting, and then SMTP debug of 1. So this line enables debug mode for the SMTP object. This means that the library will print debug information to the serial monitor, which can be helpful for troubleshooting. And then SMTP callback. So this line sets the callback function for the SMTP object. So this function defined elsewhere in the code will be called by the library to provide status updates during the email sending process. And then ESP mail session. So this line declares an instance of the ESP mail session class which holds the email server and login credentials. And here this line assigns values to the member of the session object. So it set the host name of the SMTP server. We have already mentioned this host name is smtp.gmail.com, right? So we have already given the port, author email, author password and everything and all. So it set the host name of the SMTP server and the port name, the sender's email address, the sender's password and the user domain. Here but this is empty in this case. and then this SMTP message. So this line declares an instance of SMTP message class, so which represents the email message to be sent. And coming to this line set the sender's name and email's address. So the subject of the email, which is ESP test email, and the recipient to the message object, which is Indu. And then coming to, if you are going to send HTML message in the sense, this set of code is used. If you are going to send raw text message in the sense, this set of code is going to be used. So sending HTML message. So this first line, this line declares a string variable name HTML message and assigned it an HTML message as a string. So this HTML message contains a division div element with a style attribute that set the color to this particular code. Inside the div there is an h1 which is for heading tag with the text hello world, and p which is mentioned the paragraph tag with the text which is sent from ESP board. So it will look like hello world, one small hyphen, and sent from ESP board. So this will be printed in the HTML format in your email. So this line message.html.content which is equal to HTML message.cstr. So this line assigns the C style string representation of the HTML message to the content member of the message.html object. So this C underscore string function is used to convert the HTML message string to a constant character, which is required by the content member. And coming to this line, this is printed two times, one time is okay. And coming to this line sets the character set of the plain text content which is non-HTML of the email to ASCII, so ASCII. So the text member of the message object contains the plain text content. And this line, the last line, this line set the transfer encoding of the HTML content to 7-bit. So the transfer encoding member of the message.html object which specifies how the content should be encoded for transmission over the network. So in this case 7-bit encoding is used. So overall these lines prepare the HTML content of the email by assigning the HTML message to the message.html.content member, setting the character set to US ASCII for the plain text part of the email, and specifying the transfer encoding for the HTML content. And then you are coming to raw text message, these lines. So the first line, this line declares a string variable name text message. What I am going to send is that hello world, same, sent from ESP board. And then coming to this line assigns the C style string representation of the text message to the content member of the specified object, and the C string function is used to convert the text message string to a constant character. And same for this line, like also this also the same. And the both we have common, these three lines are common for both. So here I am sending the raw text message, here I am sending in the HTML format, that is the only difference. So coming to this line, message dot priority and these two lines. So these lines set the priority of the email to low and enable notification for success, failure and delay. So and then condition. So this line. So this code block attempts to establish a connection with the SMTP server using the connect function of the SMTP object. So if the connection is not successful, the function will return. So this if condition. So this code block attempts to send an email using the send email function of the mail client object. So the email sending fails, it prints an error message along with the reason for the failure. So inside void loop, I didn't give anything because there is no specific instruction or actions to be executed repeatedly, right? So the program will simply keep looping indefinitely without performing any specific task. It's just going to send email. And then the function. So this line declares a function name SMTP callback that takes a single parameter of type SMTP status and has a void return type, which is the SMTP status parameter, which is represent the status of the SMTP operation. And then this line serial.println status.info. So this line prints information about the SMTP status to the serial monitor. So this info function returns a string with details about the status such as success, failure or any relevant error message. And then this if condition, if status.success, so this line checks if the SMTP operation was successful by invoking the success function on the status object. If the operation was successful, the code block within the if statement will be executed. And then it will print a line like this. And this block of code. This line prints information about the number of messages that were successfully sent and the number of failed messages. So it uses the completed count and failed count function of the status object to retrieve the respective counts. So the ESP mail printf macro is used to format and print the information. And this line structure TMDT declares a variable name DT of type structure. So by declaring this, a new instance of the struct TM structure is created, which will be used to store the date and time information which is retrieved from the SMTP result. After declaring the DT variable, it can be used to store and manipulate date and time values within the code. So in the given context, it is likely used to convert the timestamp of each SMTP result to a human readable date and time format. And then for this for loop. So this line initializes the variable which is I to 0 and creates a loop that will iterate as long as I is less than the size of the sending result object. So within the SMTP object, this loop is used to iterate over each SMTP result. So inside this line retrieves the SMTP result at index I from the sending result object of the SMTP object and assign it to a variable named result. So each iteration of the loop processes a different result. And then this. So this line extracts the timestamp value for the result object and casts it to a time_t type. So the timestamp member of the result object represents the time when the SMTP operation was completed. And then this line, local time, address of TS and address of DT. So this line converts the time_t values TS to a more human readable form using the local time or function. So it takes the address of TS and DT as argument. So where DT is a structured TM object. So this function fills the DT structure with the broken down components of the time such as year, month, day, hour, minute and second. And at last I am going to print everything. So this line prints information about the SMTP result using that SMTP mail printf macro. It prints the message number of which is I of 1, I plus 1, the status of the result, if it can be success or failure, the date and time component obtained from the DT structure with appropriate adjustment for year, month and so on. So the recipient of the email and the subject of the email. So this code block is executed for each SMTP result in the sending result object, which is printing the relevant information for each result. So at last, I am going to ending with this. This line prints a separator line to the serial monitor, providing a visual separation between different sections of output. So this is all about the coding section. But coming to the hardware, we just only need ESP8266 microcontroller. We doesn't need anything. We just only need to connect that ESP8266 microcontroller to our PC or laptop or whatever. So in this code, you just need to change your network credentials, change your SSID to your SSID name and your password. And as well as setting the sender email, SMTP server details, recipient and message, everything. So now we only have to upload this code into our. So here I only have my ESP8266 microcontroller. We just need to upload the code into our microcontroller. So let me upload it first. So make sure that you have select the correct board and port. So I think just a minute. Yeah. So now let me upload it. So here open your Gmail. Yeah, it's uploading. Let us open. So it will show the details, your IP address, connected, everything and all. So wait for a few seconds, it will print some details over here. So yeah, port and your SMTP details, everything. So here message sent success 1. So message sent successfully. So if you are open your, so here you will get your ESP mail. So it send mail in HTML format. So if you want to send raw text, in the sense you just remove that HTML format code here. Wait. So if I upload this again, in the sense you will get raw text. So here it will show like ESP test mail and send from this mail to this mail. If you are opening this mail, in the sense here you will go to send file and you will get your, so I will show you. So let me open another one. So here also if I open my mail, in the sense this send box, so in the send box we'll also get this, yeah, date and time 5:35 p.m. today, send mail, that's it. So it's uploading. Now we will wait for a raw text message. Let it upload. Yeah, it's uploading. It print our IP address. Now it's connecting to SMTP server. So if it's connected, in the sense it will send you the SMTP. Here you will get your host port. Yeah. So here message sent successfully. So if you are opening this, in the sense you will get your here. Sorry. So here is the raw text and here is the HTML format. So this is the output. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear? Do you have any doubts regarding this? So is it clear, everyone? If it is clear, in the sense, just drop S in the chat box. Let us wind it up from here. So let's catch up tomorrow with another topic. So is it clear, everyone? Shall we wind up the class? Yeah, okay. So just try it by yourself. Create a new Gmail account and create an app password. Try it by yourself. If you find any difficulties in the sense, you can ask me in tomorrow's class. I will help you, and I have already provided you the library link and how to set up the password, app password link, everything and all. So go through it and try it by yourself. If you find any difficulties in the sense, you can ask me. I will help you with that. So and also I have provided the third assignment Google form link. So those who have submitted the assignment in the Facebook community or LinkedIn community, just copy that link and paste it in the Google form. Don't forget to do that. You must copy that link and paste it in the Google form also. So those who are not submitted the assignment, please try to submit it as soon as possible. So it's already 17th day. There is only 3 days more. And on 23 you will get your 4th assignment, and 23 itself you will get your Google form link also. So just please try to submit it as soon as possible, and if you have any doubt in the sense, you can ask me. So thank you all. Have a great day.